Welcome to the Zodiac chat line. I am your host, Tanae, and of course, Cassie is here with me as always. Cassie girl, how's it going?
Oh, my friend. We're chugging right along.
We
We're
are
chugging
on
right
this
along.
eve of the Libra full moon. We are still in Aries season, and we can tell, all that war and shit with tariffs or whatever. Anyway, but we are enjoying that we are in the last tail end of this Aries season. Okay, girl, because the sun, while hanging out there today, will on the 19th move into the most fixed of fixed, earthiest signs of Taurus. And I think we all will appreciate that reprise. And the slow and steady instead of the out the gate impulsive not thinking Aries energy that again we are all witnessing and a part of. I didn't know I signed up for this, but I guess hey, my soul did. um so the full moon will be in Libra on the 12th, on this Saturday. Mercury still hanging out in Pisces, of course, but that will move into Aries on the 16th. So watch your tongue. Venus is still hanging out in Pisces. Be delusional and dreamy about love. Why not? Mars is in Cancer only for a couple more days. Mars has been in Cancer forever.
Too long.
I think it's longer than normal because
Mm-hmm.
there was a retrograde, I think, at the end of last year coming into this year. And so we are still feeling that energy. And Mars is not comfortable in Cancer. Let's just be real. It's like what is a since they're both square cardinal
It's a
energy.
square, yeah.
Yeah. Um, but it will move into Leo on the 18th of April. So, a little more comfortable in another fire sign. Still, ooh. Jupiter in Gemini, Saturn in Pisces, Uranus in Taurus, Neptune in Aries. We talked about that a little bit last time. Again, this is new, fresh energy for Neptune after it had been hanging out in its home sign of Pisces. And so now in Aries, first time again since the what? Silver War. Just keep that in mind, folks. Pluto in Aquarius, having fun with Neptune and Aries, I'm sure. And this is just the beginning for both of those signs. And the North Node is in Pisces. So,
Yeah. And we have Venus is moving direct tomorrow to go coincide with the Libra full moon. And everybody's moving forward.
that we hope. Because at least the planets are on the right
The
page, okay?
planets are.
They always say as above, so below. We should feel that energy in the same kind of way. Cassie is correct for the moment, y'all. Retrogrades we I hope you learned what you needed to learn. Hope you didn't repeat any lessons. If any exes came back, I hope you either learned your lesson or didn't even they couldn't come back. Like that's what they say. If they couldn't come back, right. Ding. If they couldn't come back, you learned the lesson. If they did, well, let's hope you don't have to learn the lesson again. Um, but interestingly enough, once Neptune moved into Aries, we witnessed the person that's leading the United States right now do some really interesting financial stuff with some tariffs. We watched three countries, Japan, China, and I believe Korea, come together against the US. And I don't know about y'all, but them three ain't supposed to be homies like that.
Yeah. They don't usually meet up in the group chat. So
No. Just pay attention, y'all. Notice
Mhm.
now how they not talking about wokeness no more because they want you to be asleep. Need y'all to wake up. Uh, just, seriously, remember it was a big deal. I ain't heart crickets.
Mhm.
Crickets. They're like, we'll just use another term. I think that's DEI right now. I don't know. They're fighting trans people because whatever. Ber-
They took I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings out of the Naval Academy Library and kept Mein Kampf in there. So that tells you everything you need to know about their priorities.
all I could do is sigh. Um, I don't know who signed up for this timeline. I don't think I did.
No.
We
I
do.
respectfully request a return. I
Listen,
don't,
I respectfully quit. This ain't my last one. This is a interesting time. Just I think in general for both Cassie and I, we were born respectively in the late 70s and early-ish 80s. Um, yeah, I mean, you know. Uh, and this is crazy for like, I mean, you know,
never in the wildest dreams of my 90s childhood that did I imagine that in
girl.
2025 I would have to be fighting for my social security against a President Donald Trump and literal Nazis.
So Bernie Sanders is trying to fight the oligarchy. He has that tour with AOC. So, you know, I think there's some traction. There was a protest a couple weeks ago, I think. Yeah. Uh, just
Week
after,
ago.
yeah.
Mhm.
Um, and as a non-palm color people person, I thank y'all for being outside because we wasn't coming. But thank you. More to come, I hope. Don't want this just to be for show. There are more of us than there are of them. Thank you, Channy. Just gonna keep repeating that because she's right. We have to keep repeating that. Um, and it's just been interesting to watch. And with Libras, with all of this like triggering experiences that we everybody's triggered every day. Just suck it up, okay? We're all being triggered. How you manage those triggers is up to you. And using some of Aries Libra's diplomatic type energy, can you see both sides of the yeah, but no. Um, but learn how to balance your triggers. Don't burn yourself out. Taking things personally at this time is just don't, especially in your interpersonal relationships. Those are probably going to be the most amplified, especially with this Libra full moon, seeing as that Libra is our seventh house ruler and one of the ruler of relationships slash partnerships, because they don't necessarily have to be romantic relationships. This can be a working relationship, even your family relationships, whether you're a parent, sibling relationships, you know,
Business
yeah,
partners.
business partnerships just as much, especially because again, Venus rules kind of money and values. So all of those things can be triggered. Learn how to find the best win-win, you know, whatever that looks like. And it may not, nobody's going to get everything that they want, but compromise is a big theme in these interesting times. And be mindful of the landmines, whatever that means to you. Um, I was just kind of watching a couple of things, just regular TV and just in general, and you never know. One, what somebody is going through, and two, what they last straw gonna be. Don't be they last straw, because it's never just one thing. Um, yeah, I mean, Cassie and I are just enjoying our own lives as much as we can, and showing up for y'all.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's like I don't know. It's a lot. It is. There's a lot. It's a lot of triggering stuff. It's a crazy thing to be existing in a world. First of all, we have 24/7 access to information from everywhere. And also, we're living through a time where what would have been considered a career ending like scandal at the executive level happens 4 times a day. Like we just have like unprecedented illegal shit happening all
it's
day,
not funny. I shouldn't be laughing.
every day. No, I mean it's like funny in an absurd way. Like we're living an existentialist novel in real time, and like that's a very tough thing to deal with. And like, we talked about this I think a little bit last time with the move of Neptune into Aries, and like feeling like, and going back to your thing about not taking it personally, is like you as an individual cannot solve every problem. And going back to tomorrow's air Libra full moon and diplomacy and the partnerships and relationships, is like, how do you leverage your relationships in a way where you're building mutually beneficial systems? And I know I don't have to fight every battle because I know people in my space who are working on, goals that I also believe in, but I can't fight that particular battle. And this is a weird time too, because like, I don't know. I guess I feel like I don't know enough about how we take down fascist regimes to know exactly like what we should be doing. But part of it is not live cowering in fear every day of your life. Like that's not going to be useful. And also not burning yourself out by trying to do too much. So like to the extent you can pick a few things that you're particularly passionate about or particularly well suited to like do that type of work. Like I guess that's pretty much my best advice. And then with this Libra full moon, I I feel like it's with everything else in the zodiac, that like the best use of this energy is to really like go deep within yourself, really like do some soul searching. If you have it in you to do some like investigate those triggers, do some journaling and some shadow work, and really think about like you know what am I holding on to, what deep seated fucked up shit is still affecting me today and maybe weighing me down in a way that is not that's gonna make it harder to go forward in this difficult time. And that may not be you may not be in the mind space to do that. It's hard right now. And another thing that um can be helpful is like yoga and body work that really focuses on releasing like your hip and lower back muscles, because that is where you store a lot of trauma tension. And you may find yourself like crying just doing that because
Hmm.
your body knows, like your even if your brain can't put it into words, your body will feel it. I don't know, man. I don't have a lot of good advice for this time, to be
No, and
honest.
but honestly, the also in addition to all of what we're saying, the broader is continue to find community. Because there are more people going through the same things that you're going through than there are not. And just like the planet, it's all of us or none of us. And just like the situation, it's all of us or none of us. Because even if they are doing what they're doing right now, we all know this isn't sustainable. And if it's not okay, what are you doing within your community? Because if there are times do get hard, do you have anything where you can barter with your neighbor? You can help, we don't know what's happening. Every day is a new day. And we all just hope that I don't even know what we hope, but in all seriousness, really lean into your community and into the partnerships that that feel reciprocal and that do have diplomacy about them. And if there is an imbalance, I feel like, this Libra full moon may accentuate that, and learn how to have a discussion about it and not Aries it.
Yeah, I think, and the whole of this Neptune and Aries, I feel like the lesson of this cycle and part of the work we can do up front to create better outcomes is figure out, especially within, as you're, maybe if you're joining groups that already exist or you're creating your own groups, is like, think about, there is going to be conflict. There's going to be differences of opinion. How
Mhm.
do you handle that? How can you,
Mhm.
like, don't, because you're setting yourself up to fail if you think you're going to agree with these people all the time. And like, even with the mayonnaise tinted protests, it's like there's a wide spectrum of us out there, and I'm sure I don't agree with many of them on many things, but what do we agree on, and how can we handle our differences in a way that doesn't destroy the relationship and doesn't, like, Aries shadow energy is ego. We are not, we are not there. We cannot be ruled by our ego. Like, we cannot let that lead us down
We
a
are
path of destruction.
watching it in live and living color through anybody who is in this leadership administration, because everything is about whose fake dick is in the biggest. Like, it's a or dick measuring contest, and it's like, why nobody really cares. And the fact that you do is even crazier.
Yeah.
Um, but anyways, check us out on our socials. We're gonna just listen. I just really want to get to our sister this and our deck because it's actually kind of cool. So we decided to do, because duality, we decided to do the signs as sister sign duos. So Cassie and I have taken, we are mixing shit up here. Cassie has taken air and fire duos, so she will run those down, and I will run down the earth and water duos, sister duos. And of course, if you are not familiar, sister signs is the exact opposite sign of each zodiac. So, for example, Aries is our first house, Libra is its sister sign, or yeah, I guess it's opposite sign, maybe not sister sign. So, I think sister
They
sign.
no, they're
Oh,
the
it's sister
same,
signs. Okay,
interchangeable.
great. Love it. So and so on, Taurus, Scorpio, so on and so forth. So that would be, so if you are a Virgo, Pisces is going to be your sister sign. And what they say about these duos is there is, I always describe it as opposite side of the same coin. And these duos, when they're together, and it is amazing, it is amazing. But when it's not, it's trash. So, but
They
these,
often trigger each other
yes,
because
because the one has what the other person, it's a very, this should be a very complementary relationship. That's the best way sister signs should interact, is complementary. So without further ado, ma'am, you are at the top of the charts. Who you
I
got?
sure am. All right. So for our Aries Libra duo,
Who? Call it.
the timeline we all wish we were living in, that would be Governor Tim Walz from the great state of Minnesota and Vice President Kamala Harris, Aries and Libra. I thought their qualities as an Aries and Libra were on display in their short campaign very prominently. Like, Tim Walz, though, I mean, has this like childlike kind of energy like you expect of Aries, just kind of silly and round face and just, kind of a goofball, but also absolutely willing to be feisty. And he was very much the feisty party to Vice President Harris's extremely polished, just flawless, diplomatic, like even keeled, presence. And they, I think, were showed the true, like, highest level of a sister sign
Mm-hmm.
pairing, of being very complementary to each
Mm.
other. That, at the negative side, they they challenge each other very deeply, but it seemed like those two really had a very harmonious relationship. It's pretty hard to feign um energy of connectedness, and they just seemed very comfortable with each other the whole time
Mm-hmm.
they were on the trail
Mm-hmm.
together. And
Y'all just messed it up.
these fools messed it up.
I was just thinking that. Um, I love Cassie because she be deep about it. I'm just mine's gonna be straightforward. Okay, so whatever. So I have Taurus Scorpio, and I picked this duo because if you watch the Taurus's um talk show. She does not only does she do karaoke, so of course we're talking about Kelly Clarkson, but she also does like games where she's challenging up against another celebrity, and they're trying to guess songs. And her Scorpio counterpart is Anne Hathaway, because there was an episode and it was Kelly Clarkson's song Since You've Been Gone, and it had started and Kelly did not know it, and Anne Hathaway hit it and just belted it out. And so just watching their dynamic was super, super adorable. So Kelly Clarkson, Anne Hathaway, Taurus Scorpio duo.
Cute. I fucking love Kelly Clarkson. Long time fan.
The only American Idol. Anyway.
Boom. All right. So Gemini Sag, I am leaning into their just chaotic energy and going with, also recently back in the news, Kanye West and Taylor Swift. Okay, so this is the shadow sister sign, right? Like, this is like at their worst, they just can't let it go with one another, right? And Geminis and Sages, both mutable signs, but also both extremely dogmatic. If like they're it's strange. They're not stubborn the same way a fixed sign is, because if the mood strikes them, they'll just drop it, you know? Whereas a fixed sign will never do that.
Hmm.
But they are like a dog with a bone if they decide they don't like they both of them are last word freaks. And to me, that is the epitome of the Kanye and Taylor Swift. He won't shut the fuck up about her, and she will not let him have the last word. She will not let it go. And so she filed a cease and desist against him this week because he was making comments about whatever stupid shit
Everything.
on social media. And it's just like it
Why
is
even give it any
crazy to
attention?
watch. Right. Because Sagittariuses can't let it go. They can't not have the last word. I'm married to one.
I was
I
going to
love
say,
him, but
don't tell on yourself that you speak it from experience, but we love him. Love you, Brandon.
do
Okay,
I love you, but
but sometimes just shh. Okay, Virgo, Pisces, continuing with the mutable energy. I picked Jada Pinkett Smith, and of course, my favorite Pisces, woman Pisces, Queen Latifah. Because if you are not black and gay and have not seen Set It Off, I don't want to talk about it. But yeah, Queen Latifah and Jada Pinkett Smith were in that movie where they robbed a motherfucking bank. And Queen Latifah had them stitch braids to the back, girl.
mm,
Cleo went out in a blaze of motherfucking glory. But I love Queen Latifah because she's loved Queen Latifah. And their friendship is just so cute. And they're both very warm and healing types of energy at their best and at their worst. Well, I haven't really seen Queen Latifah at her worst, and I appreciate that. Um, I mean, we could mention another Pisces male that we've seen at their worst, and if y'all are not paying attention, everybody should be concerned. But a Virgo at their worst is watching their husband slap somebody on stage. So anyway, next.
saying too much. Yeah. Yeah.
and doing too much with a young person. Anyways, we won't go there. We're gonna stick with the positive. Go ahead.
Right. So on that note, nothing negative to say about my last duo of Leo and Aquarius, who are two icons of rap music. I'm speaking, of course, of Glorilla and Megan Thee Stallion. Wannabe was the track of the summer last year, and spring and summer. Their tour together just sold out arena after arena after arena. And they are so fun. They're both so talented. And they're, again, at their best, both of those signs are very generous. And I feel like they are both willing to work with other artists. They support and like lift each other up. And just two superstars that, in my mind, can do no wrong. So, love them.
Agree. Finally, I have a Capricorn and a Cancer. RIP to this first Capricorn. I wish that her life had been able to, we could have seen it through. And that is Miss A Aaliyah, L to the YH.
Oh.
And of course, the Cancer, Missy Misdemeanor Elliott, who to this day still love, ma'am. She can never do any wrong. One of the greatest female rap artists of all time. I personally the greatest female rap artist of all time, just with her creativity, just with the beats, just with the music videos, like, and Aaliyah within the same. I mean, everybody wanted to have the little glasses and the bandana and the baggy jeans and the little tomboy, and Aaliyah was a worker. Um, it's, the other part of her life that was a little unfortunate. We won't mention that person, but their friendship and them together, that's a great. I love me a good Capricorn Cancer duo.
Mm-hmm.
Could say an honorable mention would be to Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, but to me, Aaliyah and Missy Elliott both epitomize their signs to the maximum, and both just leaders in their field. That's Capricorn and Cancer are cardinal energy, and that is some initiating. I haven't seen any
Mm-hmm.
in the 90s.
Ugh.
The 2000s, you know what
You
I'm saying?
guys, it was better times. It
90s
was
and
really better
2000s.
times.
Y'all don't know about that music. I'm just saying we sound. See, boomers and eels. Um so yeah, find us on our socials. I'll just say that again because I think I forgot to say it the first
Text
time.
us. The chat
Yeah,
line still exists.
it
People
does.
are. It do, you could be asking us, "Hey, what the fuck is going on? Why is my boss being so crazy?" And we would be like, "What's your
Because your
boss's
boss is
birthday? Let's
weird.
talk more about it." Yeah, let's, because capitalism, but also XYZ astrology.
So
Three one
I
three four
supported.
one six 9541. All right.
There it is. There it is. 313. We represent Detroit all day, every day up on this mug. I visited my local feminist bookstore here in ATL, Georgia. Thank you, Karis Books, to find this lovely deck, The Alchemist by a queer Black woman, Nyasha Williams and Grace Banda. Um, illustrations by Kimshika Naidu. I know, I'm sorry, guys, if I'm mispronouncing, you can forgive me. But it's The Alchemist. But quickly, just because I want Cassie to. They are gorgeous cards. They
So
are,
pretty.
and very much about the elements. And then this is the back, and beautiful little chocolate with the traditional way like the elements are expressed. So, without further ado, I need you, universe, spirit, and Cassie's magical potion powers. Give these people a good message because, the Libra full moon can bring some sort of peace in some sort of way. And so that's what kind of message?
What are
She
we gonna
says,
get?
stop in the names. Kidding. Yes, girl. Why would you? You know, see, y'all be sleeping on my. I don't even think you sleep on her, but I love Cassie, and she's always going to be the queen in my heart. Okay, so this is the goddess of the West, right? I believe. Yes, goddess of the West. So they do use the elements north, south, east, west for each element, and of course, this is water.
Water.
Cassie, she said, Cassie was like, "Oh, okay, girl, you want me to pick something? I'm gonna pick what I want to pick. I'm gonna pick some water. Okay, girl, pick
I
your
think this is the
water.
good antidote for all of this Aries energy. Let's hear about it.
All right. Okay. Here you go. All right. Water is life, as is essential to all. The liquid carries with it imprints of our ancestral DNA. It is the sacred blood of our first mother. The West brings forth the energy of divine knowledge, movement, and the psyche. This is the wisdom held by our ancestors, elders, midwives, and doulas. They understand the significance of this thread that connects us to the cycles of time, our environment, and the spiritual realm. Without water, there is no life. While water is nurturing and gentle, do not mistake its traits for weakness. The tsunami and puddle are molded from the same element. Allow the flow of compassion, grace, and understanding to enter your internal rhythm and extend that overflow to others. When you are longing to connect with the element, sing in a body of natural waters or hold a shell to your ear. Foresight given by her is to be flexible as shifts are a certainty. Just as the ocean is constantly ebbing and flowing, change is ever present. There are some questions here that we should reflect on. Do you know where you begin and others end?
Ooh.
Right. How are you making sure your cup is routinely being filled? Do you imagine a life flow in which there is balance and enough for everyone? In the way to take action, tap into or link up with some maternal wisdom and take a risk. Well, as always, Sorceress Cassie decides what we are about because that's what she wanted to hear. Compassion. She wanted her water energy to come through. Fuck the rest, I'm just playing. Uh,
I think that was really important, though, kind of going back to the Libra and Aries of it all is like, how you share, because it said you share the overflow with others. So that's it. You need to take care of yourself. We got to pace ourselves. This is a marathon, not a sprint. But
Hello.
the extra, we give back.
And not only that, the certainty is that's not a guarantee. And I did also appreciate the ancestors, the wisdoms, the elders. Like we have been talking about what kind of ancestors we are right now. And that is a huge theme in watching how we allow the rest of this to play out, how our country is formed for the rest of our living lives. And water is as smooth as a wave and as rough as a tsunami. So proceed with caution. Because Cassie will tell you, I'll drown a bitch. No, I'm just like,
I will.
yeah, like, and so, and especially when I like the other, where do you begin and others end? And sometimes emotions, you're not sure if it's your feelings or other feelings. And that's why we were talking about not taking it personally, really taking a step back. Why are you being triggered? Is this you? Is this your feelings? Are you receiving? And for those of you that are empathic or have, that type of receptivity, it's great to set boundaries and it's great to really know, stay solid in where you are and try and get grounded, especially if you know it's easy for you to kind of flow into other feelings or others' feelings or not really be able to stand in your own and get it muddled. So I think that was fabulous. I love this deck, by the way. It's beautiful. It's got
Gorgeous.
fantastic messages. Again, Queen of the West, just in case, I want you guys to really look at this beautiful Look at that. And she just looking back like, I wish motherfucker would. And they better don't. So we are wishing you an amazing and blessed full moon. If you want to charge something, throw your crystals out there, throw your decks out there, say a little prayer. I think it's really great. Write some things down that you want to release, burn that shit, don't think about it again. I think it's good to stay on your spiritual rituals right now. I think keeping yourself centered is the way not to get distracted with all the outside noise.
Hallelujah.
Holla back. And with that said, Cassie and I are going to get out of here. We'll see you, soon because we're always on here. And maybe you'll get a random short because, well, I think I should show my face more. But anyway, um anyway, just kidding. I thank y'all so much for joining us. We will be back. Cassie, girl, I love you. I hope you have a
I love
great
you too.
full moon. We
You
know
as
that
well.
cancer, we know that cancer energy with us. Hopefully I can go to sleep tonight because I don't know about y'all with the moons. I'll be like, word. But it's all love, y'all. We gotta be out of here. Peace.